Umapaw sa papuri at standing ovation mula sa mga netizens ang abogado ni Vice President Sara Duterte na si Attorney Sheila. Sa pinakabagong pagdinig sa Kamara, hindi inatrasan at tila walang kahirap-hirap na linampaso ni Attorney Sheila ang mga batikos at agresibong pagtatanong ni Congressman Luistro. Habang pilit na ginigisa ng kongresista ang kampo ng Vice-Presidente, mabilis, malinaw, at puno ng legal na basehan ang bawat sagot at buwelta ng magaling na abogado. Makikita sa mga viral clips ngayon kung paanong napanganga at nawalan ng masabi si Cong. Luistro matapos mabasag ang kanyang mga argumento. Ang sigaw ng mga taga-suporta ni VP Sara sa social media, "Good job, Attorney Sheila. Huwag kasing masyadong madaldal at pabayda kung wala namang sapat na ebidensya." Pinatunayan lamang umano ng pangyayaring ito na hindi basta-basta mapapabagsak ang kampo ng mga Duterte sa pamamagitan lamang ng fishing expedition at mga walang baseng paratang. Marami ang nagsasabi na sa halip na sayangin ng oras sa panggigipit, dapat ay nakatutok na lang sana ang Kongreso sa paggawa ng mga batas na makakatulong sa naghihirap na mamamayan. Nakita niyo ba kung paano napahiya si Luistro? Siguraduhing i-like at i-share ang videong ito para malaman ng buong Pilipinas ang katotohanan.
Na yung committee na mga dokumento na mapresenta o matakil doon sa committee.
Thank you. Unang-una sa lahat, I have to address yung subpoena that was issued against myself. I will wait for the subpoena. Titingnan ko kung ano yung laman ng subpoena, but definitely I'm willing to attend. No, wala akong any intention to evade having to attend before the Committee on Justice. Although I must say, I was monitoring the hearings. In fact, that's why hindi kami nag-start until matapos yung hearings out of due respect na rin to the Committee on Justice. I was a bit surprised because I think the ground stated there was that I was the one in charge of the accomplishment reports, etc., which obviously the facts and documents would show that it was not me. No? But nonetheless, I don't see any point in not appearing, so I will definitely abide by the subpoena, subject to, of course, titingnan natin kung anong laman. Pagdating naman doon sa ibang subpoena that will be issued for the documents, I think it is our job as counsels to look first at kung ano yung scope ng subpoena and see kung naayon ba sa batas yung pag-issue ng subpoena. Attorney Sheila, is there anything you wanted to add pa? Go ahead.
In addition to what Mike had said, I think the portions of the letter that I had read earlier would answer that question. So right now, what is clear is that we have questions on the jurisdiction of the committee to conduct any form of trial. And if you had noticed also from the letter, we had stated that it's not only the conduct of the trial, but also the exercise of any and all ancillary incidents to it, which includes, of course, the issuance of any compulsory process. I cannot tell you yet how the defense would meet the orders given today at the committee hearings or how we would specifically respond to those. But we are making clear that we are questioning the jurisdiction of the committee to conduct this form of trial, whether it is something that they may have, or some members of the committee may have referred to as a mini trial or as a form of hearing. We have a fundamental question on the jurisdiction, and that fact has been made clear in the letter that we had sent to the chairperson of the committee.
Clarification po ng chairperson and some members of the committee na ito daw pong ginagawa nila is like not like a mini trial but like preliminary investigation. Ikukumpara doon sa usual na legal process na ginagawa. At ang sabi po, para po kay Representative De Lima, parang disrespectful daw po na hindi humarap si Vice President Sara Duterte para personally ipaalam o i-lay down yung kanyang mga rason kung bakit hindi siya siya nadal or haharap na dito sa pagdinig. Yun po. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, you have two questions, right? Number one, it does back to the statement that what the committee is conducting is not a trial, but is allegedly a preliminary investigation. Number two, you also want us to react to the statement of Representative De Lima to the effect that
Sinasabutay yata tayo
the nuance of the response at the committee hearing today is allegedly a disrespect. Let me respond to the second one before I go to the first one. We regret that that's how the good representative feel, but we also had very clearly in our letter and with good intentions, because it is our duty as lawyer to put the defense or best defense available for our client. And at this point, we really feel or we believe that the committee really has no jurisdiction to conduct any form of trial. There was no disrespect intended because in fact we had responded to the invitation that was extended to us, signed by the chairperson of the committee, and we had submitted this even before the committee hearing today. So we don't know, we don't understand how that could be a form of disrespect. Nonetheless, let me address your question on the statement that what is being done at the committee level is a preliminary investigation, and they may be referring to the comparison of the committee level proceeding as akin to a preliminary investigation. However, if you have taken note of the past statements by members of the committee, and this is not even something that we said or stated, the term mini trial did not come from the defense. The term mini trial came from members of the committee.
Yan ang problema. Sa kadaldalan ni Luistro, nasisira ang kanilang mga plano. Mini trial ka pang nalalaman, no? Yan tuloy. Wasak ang kanilang mga plano.
And in fact, you only have to look probably in the internet or search them yourselves to know that there have been statements to this effect that what the committee will do is sort of a mini trial. And so, our response to that is, given that the Constitution only vests the power and authority to conduct trial in the Senate, then the House of Representatives or any of its committees cannot do that. And I think this is very clear also in the Duterte ruling, both in the 2025 and 2026 decisions of the Supreme Court, that constitutional parameters with respect to the conduct of the entire impeachment proceedings should always be complied with, especially given that it's not only a purely political proceeding, it is also a legal proceeding, and therefore must comply with the fundamental law.
Nakakatakot itong sumalo. Parang parang guro no? yung matapang. Yung tono ng boses niya kakaiba parang yung teacher na nagdi-discuss no. Wala, hindi makakakana dito si De Lima pag nagharap po sila sa Senado kung sakaling matuloy ang impeachment trial Pero sa tingin natin, base sa mga nangyayari, hindi ho pumapabor sa mga magnanakaw na congressman itong impeachment na to laban dito kay VP Sara.
And what is our fundamental law? Our fundamental law is the Constitution. You don't even have to write it in any contracts or agreements or any rules. It's written in every rules, in every contract. That's how fundamental the objection of the respondent is to the committee proceedings.
with the phone attorney Joseph Pedran po from Manila Politico. In asserting the unconstitutionality of the House jurisdiction over the impeachment complaint, what are we trying to achieve here po ba? Are we trying to stop the House hearing or have we made any legal move na ipahid po to, or it's just a mere position ng defense team?
Well, for now, that's really the position of the defense team na unconstitutional yung nangyaring proceedings, di ba? Ngayon, ang tinitingnan natin, ang sinasabi talaga natin dito to simplify things. Sa Constitution, very clear naman yung nakasulat. No? Number one, ang initiation ng impeachment proceedings that belongs to the House. That's an exclusive power of the House. We're not contesting that. No? But, pagdating sa trial, that power exclusively belongs to the Senate. Napaka-clear niyan. Kaya ang sinasabi lang namin dito is hindi naman pwede dito sa pag-initiate pa lang ng proceedings nagkakaroon na ng tinatawag na namin na mini trial. At again, kaklaruhin ko lang yung emphasize ko lang yung nasabi na ni Atty. Sheila. Hindi po sa amin ang galing yung term na mini trial. Yan po ay galing sa mga statements no ng either Committee on Justice or even other personalities. So hindi po sa amin ang galing yan. That's why we're contesting it. Ngayon, ano ba ang trabaho para sa amin ng Committee on Justice? At least sa aming pananaw. And again, with all due respect no, to the members of the committee and the committee itself. Ang trabaho po ay to determine, sabi nga nila, kung ito ay iaakit na sa plenaryo at iaakit na eventually sa Senado, hindi ba? So ang parati namin sinasabi, kahit sa previous interviews ko, ang gagawin lang naman is to evaluate the complaints and the evidence at hand. No? Kung ano yung mga naka-attach na ebidensya doon sa complaint. So yung pagpapatawag ng mga witnesses and all those things and asking for documents, that goes well and beyond, di ba? Yung evaluation lang kung ito ay dapat mapunta na sa plenaryo at ang sa ganun ay maiakat na sa Senado. So sa ngayon, are we going to question this? Kasi I think that was your question talaga. Of course, that possibility is always there, hindi ba? But hindi po na kami magsasabi ng anything categorical. Ito ay dapat pag-usapan, hindi lang namin, pero pati na ng aming kliyente. At titignan natin kung ano mangyayari. That's why we have been monitoring these proceedings from day one. And then we'll let you know kung meron na kaming desisyon ukol doon.
Sir, follow up na. Since you are acknowledging that the House of Representatives can initiate the impeachment trial, the impeachment proceedings or whatever, bakit dun sa process na yun, we're not attending doon sa mga invitations ng House of Representatives? And follow up is, are we surely attending the Senate hearing once it prospers, the case prospers?
Number one, dun sa tanong niyo po, it's not just we're acknowledging, no, that's clearly stated naman in the Constitution na sila talaga ang may exclusive power to initiate impeachment proceedings. Why are we not attending? I think it was clearly stated in our letter. It's because we are objecting. There's a fundamental objection to the proceedings itself because for us, this goes well and beyond what is contemplated within initiation of impeachment proceedings. As to the Senate, wala pa tayo doon, no? Pero pag dumating man doon, talaga namang kami naman ready na sagutin. Parati naman natin sinasabi, ready nating sagutin ang mga aligasyon laban sa Vice Presidente sa tamang forum. And at sa atin, pagdating sa pagkakaroon ng trial, whether mini trial or full-blown trial, that is not in the House, but that's actually in the Senate. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Kanina po ay naglabas ng statement si Vice President Sara Duterte at sinabi na ang gagawin na pagdinig o ang isinagawang pagdinig kanina ay isang fishing expedition. Pwede po ba natin ipaliwanag ito bakit ito nasabi ng vice?
Well, again, I have to premise my answer with I'm no longer the spokesperson of the Vice President. So napakahirap naman na maglagay ng salita, no? Mag-interpret ng kanyang mga sinasabi. But at least based on our conversations, nakita naman natin, yun naman talaga ang posisyon natin when you evaluate these impeachment complaints. The evaluation must solely remain with the complaints and the pieces of evidence attached. Di ba? Ngayon, if you will go beyond the evidence attached and start asking for documents left and right. When our first argument nga, kung matatandaan nyo, is wala man lang ultimate facts yung complaints. No?
Walang ultimate
And then yung
facts.
mga naka-attach na ebidensya, wala rin naman doon na nagsasabing o nagpapatunay na may krimen na kaagad na nangyari. And so if you go beyond that, that is what we're saying na fishing expedition.
Fishing expedition.
Malamang yun na rin ang pinaparating ng ating Vice Presidente. Pangalawa, katulad ng mga issue na nilabas sa kanyang salin, doon sa desisyon ng Supreme Court sa Duterte versus House of Representatives, malinaw na nakasad doon na ang impeachable offense ay yung mga offense na allegedly na-commit ng impeachable official within his or her term. At malinaw naman doon sa pinakita na karamihan doon sa hinihing documents ay not within his or her, within the term of the Vice President in this case. No? So, marahil doon nanggagaling ng ating Vice Presidente.
Good afternoon po, Ed Mendoza from Manila Times. I'd just like to note lang po yung mga subpoenas regarding doon sa subpoenas regarding her salary. Congressman Rodriguez said na it's a form of fishing expedition. That's why he objected to the motion raised by the panel. Pero sa tingin niyo po ba, pwede ba muna natin ma-control ito o prevent itong pagkakas ng mga salad? Kasi yun nga, as Lucas Rodriguez nga, is a legal expert saying na it's a fishing expedition. And baka mapupunta ito sa nangyari sa corona impeachment trial na naging fishing expedition. So, what's your take po doon sa mga subpoena sa salad and pati na rin yung mga bank records na rin kay Atty. Max Garfield?
I think I've made this clear, and I also, again, say that if the objection of the respondent goes into the matter of jurisdiction, meaning does the committee have any power or authority to conduct a mini trial or whatever it is that they will call it, including the examination and cross-examination of witnesses, issuance of compulsory processes for the introduction, reception, and examination of evidence. Our position has been made clear in the letter. That authority and all the incidents of that authority should only be exercised by the Senate. Because why? Again, we go back under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 6, it's only the Senate that can conduct trial, that can examine witnesses, that can cross-examine witnesses, that can issue subpoena for the production of evidence. In fact, if someone here earlier asked, this is akin to a preliminary investigation, you know, under the current rules of preliminary investigation and inquest proceedings, even the matter of deciding or resolving the complaint is only limited to the complaint and the counter affidavits of the respondent and other affidavits and the evidence at hand. Nothing beyond evidence at hand. And let me clarify this, because it might be that the idea that just because a respondent did not appear and sent a letter through the lawyers stating the reasons for non-appearance, which raises issues on jurisdiction, doesn't mean that she or us or we are just raising technical issues. Because I think every lawyer knows that the matter of jurisdiction is always substantive. Cannot even be waived, cannot even be, a subject of any agreement. Once a body, once a tribunal acts beyond the powers vested in it by the Constitution, that cannot be allowed.
Last question na lang po from Maria.
Afternoon po, Bella Cayato from the Philippines Park. Sir, just to be categorical about it, so may plan kayo to question unconstitutional yung proceeding sa House. So kailan kayo mag-decide na mag-file na ng petition sa Supreme Court? And second po, ano po yung magiging action natin next? Meron parang 3 hearings pa ang House Committee on Justice. So ganito na rin po kayong scenario natin na walang a-attend ng mga lawyers except sabi nyo a-attend kayo dahil may subpoena kayo. Walang a-attend na lawyers and even si Vice President Sara Duterte.
Number one, hindi ko po sinabing may plano. Ang sinasabi ko lang po is, of course, there's always a possibility. Alam niyo, maraming nagfe-frame the past few weeks. Sinasabi, aakyat yung mga yan sa Supreme Court. As if it's a wrong thing, no? Our job as lawyers is to protect the client and the rights of the client, no, against harassment and all of these kinds of things. And sa ngayon, ang sinasabi namin is that is always a possibility. Especially since, ulitin ko lang yung sinabi ni Atty. Sheila, our objection to the proceedings is fundamental. No? Hindi to mere technicality. We are saying na ang sinasagawa ngayon ng committee, at least sa aming pananaw at sa aming posisyon, is labas na sa kapangyarihan nila dahil yung trial, mini-trial, full-blown trial is really vested upon the Senate. Ngayon, pagdating sa susunod na hearings, hindi muna kami magdokumento, ma'am, tungkol dyan. Dahil syempre, we are monitoring the developments as they come. And as lawyers, although of course, we are ready to anticipate anything and everything that comes, we are also not inclined to telegraph what we plan to do. Thank you.
Ba't pati naman kasi yung pagpunta sa Korte Suprema, itong mga media na to pinapakialaman nyo? Dapat tinanong nyo rin si Luistro nung sinabi niya magbi-mini trial sila. Para saan? Dapat sana ganun ang tanong nyo eh.
Good afternoon po, Alisa Incom from IBC News. If ever the Senate conduct the hearing, can we expect your appearance as well the appearance of Ms. Sara?
Again, I think our letter is clear. We cannot participate in a proceeding that we think is unconstitutional. We cannot have the Vice President appear before a body exercising a power or authority that is vested by the Constitution in another tribunal. If you notice from the letter that we sent on March 24, 22, the penultimate paragraph of that is pretty clear that considering that the requests, motions, or similar efforts aimed at obtaining evidence through processes that necessarily presuppose lawful authority, then, which in this case we believe is absent, then we cannot participate in the proceedings. This is not even something new. This is something that every lawyer questioning the jurisdiction of the court on behalf of his or her client.
Parang iteration ko ng mga tanong question. So since you are not recognizing the jurisdiction of the authority, hindi nyo po to comply ang any subpoena na hindi expected si Vice President and you na mag-appear sa House hearings. Yun na po.
Let me clarify that. Baka ma-misconstrue eh. What we are not recognizing is the authority or power to conduct mini-trial.
Yeah.
Now, with respect to the power of the House of Representatives to initiate impeachment proceedings. That's stated in the Constitution. We recognize that. Again, what we do not recognize is the authority to conduct any form of trial. We can't tell you yet what will happen in the next weeks until the committee has concluded its proceedings, because as you know, the committee has just finished the hearing this afternoon, and we have yet also to receive any invitation or notice for the next hearing. But what I can tell you is that every step that we will take from here on is deliberate. And those steps would be primarily to protect the interests of our client.
Attorney Paul, so to reiterate and to echo also the question from Mr. Molina earlier, so you fail to attend the Vice President and also your team, does it mean you are waiving your right to attend any proceedings? So we do not expect anyone from your team to attend proceedings.
No, I think that's also clear from the letter. In fact, it's explicit in the letter. Let me read again. As timely stated in the appearance and consolidated answer, both made at Cotalam, the respondent does not waive any jurisdictional or other objections she has to these proceedings, nor her right to seek appropriate legal remedies. I think that's quite clear. Could you clarify? What is it that they're asking? That is the respondent giving her right? And that is, of course not. Right to the proceedings. No, definitely not. I think, again, the letter is clear, and our position from the start, starting from the appearance at Cotalam and the consolidated verified answer at Cotalam, up to this point when we sent the letter, is clear. The Vice President's not waiving any of her rights. Now, if you're asking me, is she waiving her right to present evidence? Definitely, or participation in the proceedings, she will participate before the proper forum, before the body that has jurisdiction to try the case against her.
Oh, malinaw malinaw. Oh.
Yes, because again, we just have to read the Constitution. The Constitution says, Section 3, Paragraph 6, Article 8.
Para doon sa mga nagmamaasim na mga reporter, huwag yan si Ate Sheila. Attorney Sheila pangalan nito, di ba? Huwag si Attorney Sheila.
11, that it is the Senate that shall have the sole power to try and decide on cases of impeachment.
Well, to us, really, we're questioning the proceedings themselves. No? So I don't want to try to describe it sound ako sa isang description. No? But really, to us, all these things go beyond the powers of initiating an impeachment complaint. And that is why we have already stated on the record our fundamental objection to the proceedings that are being conducted at the moment.
And clearly for you, it was already in the trial.
Well, for us, ma'am, again, our position is that yung mini trial na salita, hindi sa amin ang galing. Yan ay galing sa ibang tao. Again, I like to reiterate our position. Kung ang evaluation lang na dapat gawin dito ay kung ito ay dadalhin, i-recommend, no, na dadalhin sa plenaryo, kakaroon ng articles of impeachment that will be transmitted to the Senate, dapat ang gagawin dito, ang evaluation na gagawin dito ay limited lamang doon sa mga complaints at doon sa mga naka-attach sa complaints. Kasi doon mo malalaman kung may basihan ba talaga, kung meron ba talagang impeachable offense laban sa ating Vice Presidente.
Turning for her to bring this home from 25. Since you said a while ago po that the hearing is